of you if you were in the intro track or if you were here for morning announcements, but I am Jenna Lewis. I am the new mock trial coordinator, so I'm really happy to be here, really happy to meet all of you. So the way we're going to do this is we're just going to release the rules. We'll have a summary up on here for you guys to read, and I'll state them. We won't be taking any questions at this moment about the rule changes. We have a lot to get through today. So we're going to go through the rule changes, and then we're going to release the case capsule video, and then we'll turn it over to our committee co-chair. All right. So for this year, schools may register a maximum of 3 teams for the 2024 competition. Now, these next things are not rule changes, they're simply reminders. Third teams may be required to compete anywhere in the state, regardless of distance. And schools with a total of 3 teams will be matched at random and will not receive any protection against playing themselves. So those are not rule changes, those are simply reminders. A rule change we do have is eligibility requirements for second and third teams. Schools wishing to field a second or third team must have a minimum of 9 students on their first team before their second or third may be added. So that means on your first team, you have to have 9 students to add a second team, and then to add a third team, you must have at least 9 students on your second team. If for any reason, including illness or anything else, the preceding team, meaning your first or second team if you have a third team, if the team's roster falls below the 9 students, prior to the start of the district competition, the school will forfeit the ability to field the additional teams. Schools fielding more than 1 team will not be able to apply for an exception to doubling for any roster with 9 or more students. And the maximum team size will be increased to 12 students. This will permit space for any additional alternates. We also updated the score sheet for clarity and ease of use for judges, but the scoring criteria, performance areas, and point totals will all remain the same. And then we have a rule change for communication during post-trial objections. Until closing arguments have concluded, team attorneys may communicate only with each other. During the post-trial objection phase of the trial, attorneys may communicate with any rostered team member or advisor. However, none of the performing team members may communicate in any way with any other observers or individuals not appearing on the official roster once the judges enter the courtroom and the bailiff opens the court. This restriction does include breaks during trial. All right. And then rule change about invention of fact and outside research update. The rule has been clarified to indicate that the team against whom an invention of fact or outside research objection has been made can rebut the objection by indicating where in the case file the information exists. And then we have an additional hearsay exception for the 2025 season. Due to the extent of commentary on an individual's reputation within the community, an additional 803 exception to hearsay has been added covering reputation.